Hey everybody, it's Mark again. This is a segment 2 for April 7th, 2016, Colorado Sasquatch research. The reason I'm talking quiet is because I found another brand new den I've never seen before inside a very large cave. It's surrounded by two other very large caves. But first thing I want to do is I want to show you how I found it. I was coming back through this new area and I saw this huge tree arch right here. Now, I didn't really make too much of it because, the blizzard that we had may have bowed that tree. And I just kept moving along, and up along the canyon wall, a lot of caves up here. So I'm moving along, and all of a sudden I come to this, okay, and I see this on the ground, and I'm like, okay, somebody piled up some sticks here. Interesting, they're marking something. So, that tells me to really start focusing. And then I look up, there's a tree break over here. It's about, I guess if you're standing on a boulder, it would be about a 10-inch, or 10-foot, 10-foot tree break. And so I'm like, wow, check this area out. This is really cool. See if I can get a better look at it. So I have that marking on the ground, then I have this tree break here, and it looks like it was made into like a teepee break. There's two breaks, 1 and 2. So I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I'm like, wow, check this area out. There's like huge boulders, outcroppings. And then I went back because I didn't want to have to cross this fallen deadwood here. And I saw this little mess right here. This tree break's been twisted all hell. Pretty interesting. It looks like it's been twisted. Looks like he pulled it that way versus the lower piece that's here. And so I came back over here. I'm like, well, this is weird because this isn't natural. This is somebody marking something. So I'm like, let's kind of start poking around a little bit. So I'm making my way down here into this little area. And there's like an alley here. Check this out. There's like these huge boulders on each side. And it creates kind of like a little alleyway. So I'm like, right on, cool. Let's walk down here and see what we find. The first thing I noticed, which was kind of cool, you'll like this, is a robin's nest inside the little hole in this boulder. I was like, yeah, that's cool. But anyways, so I'm like, holy smokes, dude, there's like outcroppings all over the place. And there's that tree break. So I'm kind of moving around the area. And I'm kind of nervous because this is mountain lion area. And like I said, there's another cave over here, a little tiny cave there. Still just continuing to poke around, see if I see anything out of the ordinary. So I come over here and ran across this. Okay, so I got some scat, a couple pieces of scat, and I have the fur of what looks like a cottontail. Something got eaten here, and it looks like a rabbit maybe. You got gray fur and white fur mixed in with some scat pieces there. So you can see that, see? So something either threw it up or it came out the other end or whatever. You have the scat and you have this. That's typical of mountain lions where they throw up the fur if they caught a rabbit. And that's what it looks like that is. It's all sticky. So it's been regurgitated and spit up. So I kind of move over here. I find some more scat in the middle of a possible print. Something stepped here, see? Not a very big print. But I've got some more scat. Could be mountain lion, could be coyote. It's hard to say. It's greenish yellow, kind of whitish. But I attribute it to that right there. Whatever threw up a rabbit. So I'm like, I need to be really careful because this is the, see, there's another little pig cave right there. These are notorious for cats. And so I'm moving along, and I come back down this alleyway here. And I found a den, completely hidden by two other caves. See, there's a cave right there. You can see it, and it kind of goes down in the earth. It's not too big. It's a pretty good sized cave, though. And that caught my eye, so I started looking at that, and I look up. I ran across this den cave over here. Now, mind you, we've seen this before, okay? But this is different than anything I've found yet to date. That cave goes way, way back in there. I actually crawled in there, and I took some pictures, the best that I could. There are pine boughs, and there is moss, something made of bedding of moss, of like moss on top of a rock. I don't know where they brought the moss from, but they brought in pine boughs and moss. Look at this. This is just amazing. Now, I've been hanging out in the area, so there's nothing in there right now, so you don't need to worry about that. But amazing, amazing, more twisted woodwork. And this cave, like I said, it goes way back in there. And I crawled in there, and there's no trash or anything. So I've got some still frames I've got to lighten up, but it goes so far back in there, you could fit 2 to 3 full-size Sasquatches in there, and they could sit, no problem. And they left this little doorway here, see? So I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Really, really cool. They just used a ton of wood to cover up and left a little entrance right there. This isn't human-made. There's just no way. Look at that. So, anyways, so I'm like, really happy about that. And I start checking out the immediate area. I've got another cave right down there. There's a whole room. Now, this boulder right here acts as a roof. But based on the storm that we had last week, that 3 foot of snow, as you can see, there's still snow on the ground. With the wind blowing and everything, I mean, yeah, it's good for the summer, but I don't think they use this one. I think that's why they built this den right here. I mean, look at all that wood. That's amazing. And so you have 1 cave, and then 2, and then 3, and there's several others around the area that I just showed, and it just goes on and on. But this is an incredible find. I'm really happy. Oh, and by the way, I spent about 40 minutes in that den from segment 1 for the still pictures that I posted, and didn't find any hair at all. In fact, I didn't find any hair in this. Of course, it's so dark in there. I had to use my flash, and I'll be able to lighten it up, pulling the contrast out to show exactly how big that cave is in there. Really big. All right, talking kind of fast because I'm still suffering battery problems, so bear with me. So anyways, cave number 3, right around the corner. Right around the corner. Check that out in there. Another little room. That doesn't go too deep. It's probably big enough for like a bear, a cat. Now, I had been mentioning to my friends on Facebook that I think my group is living with a cat, because everywhere I go where I find Sasquatch activity like this, I find cat, either prints. I'm finding scat. They're actually living with a mountain lion, and I guess, I assume that's just natural for them. But so as you can see how it caught my eye, I was like, little cave here, and I just happened to look and see, oh my God, something built an entrance to it. Just amazing. I mean, and the whole thing about this is, is this stump right here. See, it looks like they were digging for roots. This tree stump right here, check this out. See, that whole tree has been knocked over. In the stump is what caught my eye, and then the little cave. But it wasn't until I came around and started looking at it from this direction, I said, holy smokes, man, look at that. And once I went in there, it sealed the deal. I said, there's pine boughs and there's like moss. It's kind of brown, some of it's green. And see like you can find like patches of moss on these boulders or on the ground like this. And it looks like they just went around collecting moss and little boughs of pine to make like a bedding in there. Now the sun's not hitting right, so like I said, I'll be posting the stills. I may even put out a video of slides because this is that big of a find for me. Again, we've seen this before. Here's from the top. Look, huge old log, logs twisted together to create an entrance, a blockage. But they didn't block the entire thing. They left that little opening there. And everything started with this tree arch right here, see? And I was like, holy smokes. So I'm really happy about this find. I got some scat. No prints. Whoa. Couldn't find any prints. Some possible prints. But, let's see, I'm going to get out of the sun and just give you an overview of the area. You can see there's more pit caves up along the canyon wall. And this area is so hidden and so secluded. I mean, if you were to come walking through here just as a hiker, you'd never ever spot this thing. And it just happened to be that I saw that huge tree break, that teepee break, in that other marking on the ground. And because I just continued to poke around the area to see what was up. Like I said, you know, I was standing about right here. Right here. I just came down from looking at that tree break over there. And boom, I just happened to look over. And there it is. And that, like I said, that cave has been used. Now, there's a couple other tree breaks I saw over here that were pretty damn impressive. Right there. See a whole other mess. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm guessing that this is going to be prime area. And see, there's where that rabbit kill is. The cat scat, or whatever kind of scat that is, over there is just around the corner, just around the bend from all these tree breaks and this den. So, you know, I can't see. There's that again, see? And that's what led me down here. I can't see a human living with the mountain lion. Sorry. But this whole thing right here, this is typical of what we see from Bigfoot activity. And once I find stuff in the forest, that's a sign for me to stop. Stop where I'm at, look around, and start poking around, because you have found an area that they like. So anyways, I've got a ton of still shots coming. They'll all be posted on my page and on my Facebook group, Sasquatch Researchers of the American Southwest. Now, the original video that I posted, part 1, wasn't that great, so I'm not going to focus too heavily on that video. I went back to that den that I found the other day on Sunday. No hair, nothing in there, so I just decided to explore a new area today, and there we go. And there she is. Holy smokes, guys. This is one impressive cave, series of caves. See how this is all hidden right here. No one can see you from any direction down here. And they could just sit here, have their cat in that cave over there, and they're inside here. But see, this was all done to protect from the elements, from those spring storms that we've been having. So I can't get enough of this. I just can't get enough of this. Look how much wood they used for this entrance. Nothing else in nature does this. Oh, and one other thing. Let me just show this real quick. Look what I found in there in the cave. I don't know if these are teeth, piece of bone fragments. Could be from a spinal cord or something. But they also could be like molars. I don't know. It looks like teeth. So I'm hanging on to these. Gonna bag these up for my DNA collection for this year. And no, me touching bones with my bare hands does not contaminate anything, because if there's saliva on there, it sticks. And there's no way human contamination can come up in that. So don't even worry about that with bones. If you find bones, pick them up. Don't worry about rubber gloves and blah, 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 contamination, because these scrubbers work their way through all that, and the software. But again, new find for April 7th, 2016. We're gonna stay in this area. We're gonna keep checking on it through the season. We'll continually come back here, and I'll bring a more powerful flashlight, but I'll be able to lighten up and show the exact how deep and nice this cave is in here and what I found in there. So it shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, I'm probably just going to post this segment, because the first segment was just an intro today, thanking everybody for joining my Facebook group, Sasquatch Researchers of the American Southwest, and touching on some of the other aspects of that, and that little blind that I found. But it was an eventful couple of hours until I decided to just take off in the forest as usual and start poking around. And look what I found. So I'm happy with that, and that'll be it for this segment for April 7th, 2016.